fellow travelers, thank you for watching our videos. As you can see, we are here at home. I'm in my little editing studio making yet another video for you. I'm so grateful that you have been following us and watching our videos, especially through our Japan series. They've been so much fun to make and so much fun for us, because for us they're souvenirs of our travel. But one of the main reasons we like to share them with you is that we really hope that you see these videos and get excited and intrigued and inspired to go travel to many places around the world yourselves. We had a bit of a production incident. It's the first major production incident that we've seen. The drone is just fine, so don't worry about that. The drone is here safe and sound. It did not crash. But what ended up happening after spending 2 amazing days in Kyoto, the morning we were leaving Kyoto to head down to Hiroshima, what ended up happening is that we had an error on our SD card in the camera, our ground camera. So unfortunately, all of the video that we had filmed and shot in Kyoto was completely lost, minus a couple drone shots and some cell phone video. So was really upset about that. But we still had a great time in Kyoto. We got a lot of pictures. So thankfully what I can do is share those pictures with you in this video and kind of talk through what our 2 days in Kyoto was like. So the first thing we did when we got to Kyoto was go to a temple. This particular temple was very cool, very scenic. It was called the Kiyomizu Temple, and it stood kind of up on a hilltop. So we walked through this little neighborhood, little Japanese neighborhood, kind of uphill to get there. So it was a pretty cool, pretty scenic little walk just to get up to it. The views from the top were very cool. Had a nice overlay of all of Kyoto from the top of the temple. We then took a break from walking around the temple to enjoy a bit of sake and a traditional, I don't know what they call it, but you take your shoes off and you sit at this little table. There you can see us there sitting there having a little bit of our sake, enjoying a break from the walking around. So following the visit to that temple, we headed back down into the heart of Kyoto, where we took in a traditional Japanese tea ceremony. There's the tea master that brews the tea, and then there's a ceremony in which the tea is handed to the recipient or the guest. They have to turn the cup around, and then they drink all of the tea at once in about 4 or 5 sips, and they give a nice little slurp at that last one to indicate respect and enjoyment of the tea. So following the tea ceremony, we moved on to the Nishiki market in the heart of Kyoto, because we were getting hungry. We wanted to try more Japanese street food. So we walked around the market. It was pretty similar to the Tsukiji market and the Kuramon market in the previous cities that we had been to. Following our visit to the Nishiki market, we headed over to a couple different temples. I can't remember which one is which, but one of them is also known as the Golden Temple, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Check out these pictures. The thing looked like it was made from solid gold. We had amazing weather there, so we got to see it shimmering and shining in the sun, a reflection of the lake. To me, I think it was the most scenic and beautiful temple that we saw in our travels through Japan. We moved on from the shrines and ended our proper tour through Gate 1 travel at the Gion district, which is also known as the Geisha district. Now, this is a very traditional area of Japan where you see amazing architecture. We didn't happen to see any geishas, unfortunately, but that's okay. It was still a really fascinating little neighborhood to walk through. But it was at this point we were getting pretty hungry, and we realized we had only had sushi once in our first 5-6 days there in Japan. So we went on a hunt. We went searching for Japanese sushi there in Kyoto. We ended up finding a sushi conveyor belt restaurant. So that's how we ended our first day in Kyoto. We walked around kind of the main shopping area after having sushi. Got some night shots on my cell phone camera, which my camera, I have the Google Pixel, takes pretty darn good shots at night. So after that, we headed back to our hotel to get ourselves a good night's sleep because we knew we were going to have another busy day, our second full day in Kyoto. So day 2 in Kyoto was probably one of the best days that we had on the trip. Again, weather, fantastic. The whole time we were there, the weather was perfect. 80s, sunny, we didn't see a drop of rain. So we had done our research and we knew exactly what we were going to do. The first thing we wanted to do was go to the Arashiyama bamboo grove. But we woke up very early in the morning to get there because it gets very, very crowded. So if you want to get them Instagram photos, you got to get up really early in the morning to get there. Otherwise, you're going to have to crop out a lot of people in your background. So as you can see from these pictures, amazing shots. This one right here is our favorite photo from the entire trip, I'm pretty sure. I know it's Jenny's, and yeah, I think it's my favorite as well. So after leaving the bamboo forest, we continued walking through Arashiyama. It's a very big green area, a lot of parks, a lot of gardens, gorgeous, great spot for getting good photos. And this is where I got to fly the drone for the first time on this trip. So took the drone up to fly over the bamboo grove. Doesn't quite look the same from the air. It just looks like green bushes from the air. But I kind of flew it around. It's a pretty hilly area, got it up over a hill. There was a really awesome river that I got to fly it over. Great shots from there. Kind of headed over towards the bridge that heads over to the Arashiyama Monkey Park, which is where we headed after this. So we walked along the river a little bit to head to the main area of Arashiyama on our way over to the Monkey Park. Now the Monkey Park is up on a mountain, so it's a bit of a hike to get there. So if you're gonna go to it, know a couple things. Bring water, be prepared for a moderately strenuous hike to get up to the Monkey Park. It's not free. I can't remember exactly how much it costs, but it wasn't much, maybe about the equivalent of $5 US. There was a neat, fun part to it where there's this little building that you go into. So it makes it seem like you are in a zoo, but you as the humans are the attraction and the monkeys are looking in at you, as you can see from this picture here. So this monkey's checking me out and I'm doing my selfie with him. Got some pretty cool shots there. Another one of our favorite pictures from the trip is this one here of the monkey chilling out in the shade under the umbrella. The little guy's got the right idea. So we headed back down the hill towards the river. We found a little udon shop. Udon is very, very similar to ramen. The noodles are a lot thicker. So here's a shot of what udon looks like. And on our way out, heading back towards the train station to go back into Kyoto, we found something called the kimono forest. You do see people wearing kimonos on occasion in Japan, especially in the touristy areas, but what we've been told is that most of the people that are wearing kimonos are actually tourists that rent them. So the folks in this picture, they're from the Philippines. The last thing that we did before heading back to the hotel was go to another major tourist spot, and it was the Fushimi Inari Shrine. You've probably seen this in a lot of pictures. There are thousands of orange torii gates running along a path that goes up a mountain for about a mile. It was pretty cool to walk through it and see all of these. We saw something similar on a very smaller scale in Tokyo, but this is the big one in Japan. And I promise you, you won't regret going to visit Fushimi Inari Shrine. Get there super early in the morning if you want to get them Instagram shots with nobody in it. So that wrapped up our tour of Kyoto. I apologize so much for not having video footage of our 2 days there, but we had an amazing time. There's so many cool things to see and do. We loved Kyoto, and are happy that at the very least we can show you some of the pictures and talk through the things that we did while we were there in that wonderful city. So after our 2 days there, we headed back to the hotel to pack up, because the next morning we hopped back on the bullet train to head south to Hiroshima. So we're gonna wrap up this video there, and when you see us in the next video, we'll show you our few days in beautiful Hiroshima. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and our other social media so you can see some of these pictures for yourself. We'll be posting regularly, and we'll continue trying to provide this YouTube content to you on a weekly basis. Thank you so much, and have a great night.